Happy Spiritual Sunday to you all. Peace on earth is guaranteed, has to happen, but peace on earth can never come from this world. So join us today and find out why and how we can bring peace to this world. So welcome to another adventure of consciousness, greater insight into who we are, what our mission is, and how we can accomplish it. And so before we do our affirmation, let's read something from Karen's book, Simple Light. Again, welcome those of you who are joining us from around the world. So Karen says like this: there are differing opinions out there regarding what a spirit guide is. Some say it's the higher self, while others say it's a type of consciousness. Call it what you will, but each and every one of us has heard that quiet inner voice, even though we might disregard it. Oftentimes, we ignore it because it's telling us something we do not want to hear. It might be saying, I know this man seems like a good match for you, but maybe you should wait and find out more before moving ahead with a partnership. I know we don't want to listen sometimes, but the information that is being revealed to us is well worth heeding. For our spirit guide is there to help lead us away from darkness and bring us closer to the light. Usually, I would call it as a rule of thumb, if that intuitive voice or that little voice inside you is telling you something that's uncomfortable to do, like Karen says, that you don't want to hear that because it's not what you wanted to hear, probably 99% of the time it is truly a voice of your soul. Because the soul is there to help us overcome our blockages and manifest all of the blessings that the Creator has already implanted inside of us. But we have to make an effort. We have to exert ourselves. We have to exert, as I call them, our spiritual muscles of sharing in order to grow, elevate, and raise consciousness. But if that voice is telling you what you already want to hear, what you already wanted to do, the way you already wanted to go, more than likely, it's not the voice of your soul. It's the voice of that AI program that we've implanted in our head that's there to present some opposition to revealing the light of our soul, an opposition and challenging us with rational thinking to not exert our spiritual muscles. And that really is why, as we're about to affirm once again, consciousness is everything. Because the true battle that any person on earth has is in our head. It's not on the outside. It's not about anything or anyone outside of us. It's about that inner battle of consciousness. That, according to the Kabbalists, is what the true war of Armageddon is about. So, let's say together, to up our consciousness, to empower our spiritual muscles of our soul of sharing the light, that we can grow in blessings, elevate our consciousness, and make not only our world better, but the world in general. So we say it together. Consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. Well, we all want peace on earth. Yes, we may have different ideas how, why, where, what it should look like, or what have you, but every person on earth wants peace on earth because that's in essence what the Creator implanted in us. As we often call it heaven in heaven, we've already been given the endless world. We exist in the endless world. We will eternally exist in the endless world. We came out of the endless world to make peace and heaven on earth. We're supposed to have it. We have all the capability to have it. We are guaranteed to have it. As we spoke a few weeks ago, by the year 6000 in Kabbalistic counting. So then, what's the issue? Why is it taking so long? And so let's delve into it and just be open-minded, especially those of you who are newer to this, or especially those who have not learned at least Kabbalah 1 in the Kabbalah Center. You can do it in a physical center. You could do it now online from anywhere in the world. But let's constantly remind ourselves the fundamentals. I shared in a class this week, which is why I tell you and often mention it. I don't care what class I'm teaching. Kabbalah 3, 10, 15, 25. If we don't remind ourselves of the fundamentals, then we can never grow with mercy into our full light beingness. So like this, a person has to keep in mind the simple number line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. If a person doesn't keep that in their mind, then you can't do addition, subtraction, or any other aspect of math, because even the highest quantum physics, calculus, is still based on that foundational technology, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And now they're inspiring me. If a person believed that the number line was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and went on something like that pattern, then in essence, one holding that thought, belief, and one holding the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any discussion about math, they would come into conflict because their fundamental system of belief or understanding is contrary to each other. Now, they still have the free will. Argue over it, fight over it, beat each other up over it, hate each other because of it, or find a way to unify. That's, in essence, all that the Kabbalists have been offering us for thousands of years. The Zohar, in its written form, is over 2,000 years old. And it has the details of what we think, or have come to think, is high technology, modern quantum physics. Been in the Zohar, written for thousands of years, and for thousands of years before that, taught from one Kabbalist to another. So the fundamental understanding goes back to, and those of you who are new, the Kabbalists do accept that the 5 books of Moses is also physically, historically correct. There were Adam and Eve, there was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, etc. Moses going through the desert, taking us out of the bondage of Egypt, etc., etc. But it's the literal external story, like the body, if you will. But the true essence of a person is not the body, it's the soul. So we go back to the beginning of Genesis, the story of the Garden of Eden. And in the Garden of Eden, there were 2 trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. 2 trees. The Kabbalists explain to us that those 2 trees correspond to 2 realms of existence. The realm of existence of the simple, physical, material, 5 sense world, which is the tree of knowledge, good and bad. And that's by its name, good and bad. There's ups and downs. There's chaos and there's order. There's randomness and cause and effect, where we can have illusions of things that are not complete in the light. And the complete infinite light is in the realm called the tree of life, where there's nothing but light. So you and I, as Adam and Eve, because it was us, we were presented with the voice of our soul, as it's called, the voice of God said, don't eat of the tree of knowledge, good and bad. For at that time, then people will die. Death will come into the world. Then we had the voice of what we now understand, the AI program, that's exactly that, artificial, called the opponent, the Satan, the evil inclination, whatever other name we'll give it. But in essence, it was there to say, oh no, what you see, what the five senses show you, what's happening on the literal 5 sense material world, that's everything. So now we're given the choice. The two voices in our head, the two trees, the two realms, the two choices. And that's all the choice there is between the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, good and bad. But unfortunately, as you know the story, we gave into the opponent, we gave into the false voice, and we immersed ourselves in the realm of 5 senses. And any of you who've ever been or watched a magic show, a magician, you know they're not really pulling the rabbit out of the hat. You know that they're not really whatever they're doing, make things disappear. But we also understand, when you think about it, what are they doing? They're fooling our 5 senses. So we know already from the beginning that the 5 senses are fallible. The tree of life, the light, is infallible. It is complete. It is infinite blessings. It is the source of all lasting blessings. But when we made that mistake to choose of the tree of knowledge, good and bad, and immersed ourselves in this physical world, in essence, what we chose to think is that the physical material world is the source, that's the key, source of our blessing, source of our happiness, source of good, our good, the good in life, the source. So the example that came to me, because I used to play tennis, is the tennis court. You, me, somebody going out on the tennis court to play tennis. Is the tennis court, is the racket and the ball the source of victory, or in this case, physically, even defeat? No, it's not the source. The source is what's going on our head, how we play the game, how we looked at it, etc. That's the key. It's the mental game that's the source of victory or defeat. The court is just the place, the means. The racket and the ball are the means by which we express what's going on in our head, the distractions or the focus, to win or to lose. So the same with life. This physical world is not the source. That's the mistake we made. And now what we're been doing for the last 5,786 years in Kabbalistic counting is making an effort to make up for that mistake, which means then heaven on earth, peace in the world, eternal bliss is therefore made up by that same way, living in the physical world, but living and guiding ourselves from the spiritual world, the tree of life, the infinite light, and the universal system of light that's called Zohar, the book of the Zohar, the blueprint, and the teachings, the true teachings that come from that. That's the power of the Kabbalah Center, is to bring this wisdom to every human being on earth so that everyone will understand the meaning of life, why we're here, what the tools are that we can use, what we're made of, who we are, and how to achieve the mission of making heaven on earth. Combining, as in Kabbalistic terms we call the endless world, the light, the 99%, and the physical material world, the 1%. And in simple terms, you combine the two. Live from the voice of your soul, live from the light inside you in the physical world, like playing tennis with a focused consciousness, etc. On the tennis court, you combine 99 and 1, you have the 100%. Heaven on earth leading to eternal bliss. Now, what I wanted to give us a sense about how to do that, like anything else, learn by an example that achieved it. So in this case, the example is Aaron the high priest. He was the brother of Moses. Many of you probably remember Moses, the leader of the Israelites who led us out of the bondage of Egypt, 40 years in the desert, etc., etc. So Aaron was elevated to become the high priest, to be, if you will, the spiritual guide. Moses was the leader, Aaron was the spiritual guide, and he was known by the Hebrew term Rodef Shalom. He chased after peace. You and I, whether you realize it or not, that's what you, me, and every human being on earth are chasing. Because we're chasing peace, are you not? Think of it. How many people do you think on earth, anybody, no matter how they're acting today, do you think any of those people are chasing pain, suffering, and chaos? Of course not. They may be having to live that way because they're making the choice of the tree of good and bad, the tree of, if you will, life and death. So they're experiencing good and bad, ups and downs, sickness and health, poverty and riches, and even life and death. But they're seeking on an internal level peace, because that is what on a soul level we know we are guaranteed to have. The issue is how we get there. So here's Aaron the high priest, and in Hebrew, just so you get it, because today we could say priest and you can have a lot of different ideas, but the term is Kohen. Aaron was the first Kohen, priest, spiritual guide, spiritual healer. And how? Because in his consciousness, as we're striving and aspiring to achieve, he knew, not only knew of, but had absolute certainty and was a pure channel of the infinite light of the Creator. And that's how his desire for peace is what drove him to do all the actions and achieve what he achieved. So a couple things in the way he did it that we want to relate in our life. Chasing peace. So one facet of peace is he ran after people who were in conflict to make an effort to awaken their heart and soul, the light inside them, to create a sense of unity, a peace between them, rather than the friction and the divisiveness, being separate, being resentful, angry, hurt, guilt, judgment, jealous, whatever it was. And so one of the simple examples that they say, if a couple were fighting, he would go to the wife and he'd say something along the lines of, look, your husband, he's a little embarrassed. He's a little shy to come and say he was wrong or whatever, but he loves you. He wants to reunite with you. He's just having difficulty to say it. And then, of course, he'd run to the husband and basically say the same thing. Look, your wife thinking about it, she knows she shouldn't have fought, blah, 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 and you should work together, and she loves you so much, and she, wants to have peace between you. And peace would happen. Because each one, with the support of Aaron being a channel of light, awakening their soul by channeling light from his heart and soul, which allowed it to flow through him, this infinite light that's in and all around us, to awaken the light in their heart and soul, and therefore to overcome the negativity from the voice of that AI program, their hurt, their anger, resentment, whatever it was, and unite as we truly are on a soul level. We're already united. Our job is to hold the consciousness and live the life of being united heart to heart, soul to soul. And just for those of you who may be listening to that voice in your head called the opponent, that doesn't mean you have to give in to everybody else, lay down and let them walk all over you, let them take advantage. No. As we teach from Kabbalah 1 forward, we want to be united on that spiritual internet, on that spiritual one soul, with every piece of our one soul of humanity. Yes, and that's why I like the idea of the internet, because simple terms, and some of you with more technology just understand it in this simple way. There's one system of an internet, server, whatever they call it, but there's 8.5 billion users on that one internet. So too on a spiritual level. There's one soul, because the light is infinite. There's only one light. There's not two lights, one infinite light. But it's in each one of us. Like each of us are the computer, perhaps, or whatever device you're using right now to be together with us. I'm on a computer, you may be on your phone, some on an iPad, whatever it is, but in essence, we're all together on one internet. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see and connect with each other. So too on a soul level, whether a human being on earth realizes it or not, on a soul level, we are on that one spiritual internet. But we have the two realms, and we choose moment to moment, day by day, which realm to live and act from. To live in and act from. When we choose to live in the tree of life, that there's only the infinite light, then our actions will be greater love, kindness, and compassion. When a person chooses to give in to the voice of their opponent, the AI program, they're only going to see the physical. Yeah, they said something nasty. I'm going to hold on to resentment until they come and apologize. Meanwhile, you're holding resentment. Not a good feeling. Foolish, really. Again, you don't have to forgive them and have them over for dinner, go out to coffee, or have any physical contact with them anymore. But for your sake, to have a greater sense of inner peace, which will lead to outer peace, and sharing that peace, you have to extend light from your heart and soul to them. Now you're connected on the internet, spiritual internet, to the one quantum being of which we are all a part. The other aspect, or another aspect, was his humility. Aaron, without going into the whole biblical story, Moses was away for 40 years, right? He ran away. If you know the story, you know the story. And Aaron was the leader of the 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites, that were in bondage in Egypt. Then, the story of the burning bush, many of you at least know that story, right? God says, Moses, you're going to go be the leader, and you're going to take all the Israelites out of the bondage of Egypt and lead them to the promised land, to the land of Israel. So the Kabbalah said, well, what about, even they say, Moses said, well, what about my brother, my older brother Aaron? He's been the leader for 40 years. You want me now to go in and say, okay, great, thank you, Aaron, I'm going to lead now? And metaphorically, the Creator says, he'll be happy for you, just go. And then the story continues that when they did meet and Moses told him he was going to be the leader, it says Aaron kissed him. He was just truly from the depths of his heart happy for Moses. Because again, in Aaron's mind, as we're striving and aspiring to, everything is from the light. Everything is from the light. Everything, whether it looks good or bad, from the light. That's bringing the tree of knowledge, good and bad, into the light. My teachers, the Rav and Karen, used to say, if you look at a light bulb, the incandescent light bulb, you look at it when it's off, it's got all the wires and this, that, and the other thing inside that make it work. You turn on the electricity, the light shines, you no longer see. The light immerses all the individual wires and the positive, negative pole and the filament, etc. So immersed in the light, you don't see the difference. They're all united. As we bring the tree of knowledge, good and bad, into the realm of the tree of life, infinite light force, and we're acting that way, then at least from our side, from our vision, from our perspective, and from our life is more immersed in the infinite light, blessings, peace, and even guidance and strength how to handle the challenges that come our way. So they're no longer divisive challenges, but they're opportunities to unite with more parts of the one unified soul and to reveal more of our individual 100% blessings. And the last part that I would discuss today is dealing with tragedy, difficult challenges. So without all the details, Aaron faced a very difficult challenge as we would look at it. But what the Kabbalists explain is, even though it was painful, Aaron knew with absolute certainty that it came from the light as an opportunity for him to overcome things that were still blocking him from actions he had done, because everything is cause and effect. So if we make a mistake, we have to fix that mistake. And Aaron understood that, yes, he had made a mistake, and this challenge that came to him, so to speak, tragedy, was the light and his soul's way to be able to overcome and unblock his soul that created a blockage with that reactive or negative behavior he had done previously. And so again, when you and I are challenged, we have two opportunities, two choices. That's what free will is. The choice to immerse ourselves in the 1%. Why me? Why did it happen to me? How could it do that? I'm so good, or whatever. Or understand that it's the infinite light. It's an opportunity. The light is only good. The light is infinite, and therefore it has to be good for me, as I will make use of it for good. Like the old saying, if somebody throws you a lemon or throws a lemon at you, make lemonade. It doesn't say beat them up, throw it back at them, hit them in the head, get angry. No, make lemonade. In simple terms, that's what we learn how to do in the center. This is what our life's mission is, to turn everything into light and blessings. Unfortunately, as the metaphorical code of the Bible shows us, human nature is unfortunately the opposite. Not appreciating, not seeing the light. Couple quick examples. If you read in the Bible, in the journey out of Egypt to the promised land, out of chaos into the promised land of order, peace, and blessings, along the way, we have manna from heaven. Manna from heaven, imagine a physical material that when we ingested it could taste like anything we wanted it to taste like. It was pure nutrition, nourishment, so pure that every piece of what we ingested was digested and manifest and nourished and empowered our body so efficiently that there was no waste. We didn't use a bathroom in the desert because there was no extra, there was no waste to be excreted. We saw the splitting of the Red Sea. We saw water go against its nature of flowing. When you swim and you're swimming like this, you're not parting the water. It still swirls all around. We saw that. We experienced it. Manna from heaven. And yet, if you read even in the simple story, 40 years we're complaining to Moses. Why'd you take us out of Egypt? It was so great in Egypt. You took us out here to die. You took us out here to starve us. You took us out here to kill us with thirst. Blah, blah, blah. Complaining, complaining, complaining. The key is no appreciation. Rav Ashlag, the founder of the center, greatest Kabbalist in the last 500 years, on the level, consciously, spiritually, on the level of the greatest of prophets, biblical prophets, he said something very simple. Appreciation, gratitude is the vessel for our next blessing. It's the open container to manifest more of our soul's pure 100% light and blessings. Because appreciation means I look at the same thing, the house, the car, the people in my life, myself, and I value it more each day. Some of you invest in the stock market or you buy whatever metals hoping that the price will go up. No? And let's just take metal because companies, you can make a different 1% argument. You take an ounce of gold or silver or platinum or whatever, it's the same thing. It's still an ounce of gold 1,000 years ago and today. But because of what people perceive, how people value it more, the price goes up. But it's the same ounce of gold, silver, brass, copper, whatever it may be. The lesson for us, as Rav Ashlag teaches us, you decide. When you look in the mirror, how much does the stock of you, the stock price of you, go up every day? Yes, for many people, they look in the mirror every day and the stock price went down. They made this mistake, they did this bad thing, etc. And I'm not saying to ignore the mistakes we make, but don't let your stock price go down. Fix the mistake. Transformational sharing. Let more of your light shine out from your heart and soul to the heart and soul of everybody else. Through those situations, through those people, yes. Appreciation, gratitude is to see the light, greater light in the very same things or in that very difficult challenge. See the light in it, easier than to act like the light. And since we need to keep reminding ourselves, light, physically or spiritually, the only thing will take away darkness. The only thing that will remove the chaos from our lives. Only light. So appreciation is connecting us to the tree of life, seeing the light in everything, so that we can return everything back. Think of the word disorder. What does disorder mean? Disorder means there's an original order and somehow we've put it out of order, disorder, and then our job is to put it back in order. You could also say the word disarray means there was a perfect array, perfect way things were set up or arranged. We messed it up, and our job is to put it back in order. You clean the kitchen, you clean your house, you're having a big party. The end of the party, when everyone leaves, the house is now in a level of disarray, disorder. People left the dirty dishes here, people left trash over there, dropped a napkin, whatever it is. You don't say, that's it, disorder, disarray, throw out the whole house, throw out the kitchen, get rid of everything. No, you know that there's an original cleanliness, and you take away the trash, and you wipe down the counters, etc., and you bring it back, restore it back to its original cleanliness. So too, we want to keep in mind, there is an original absolute perfection, because the Creator as the Kabbalists teach, is perfect. And therefore its creations, which are you and I, also absolutely perfect. Yes, as we've said, even today, in the Garden of Eden, we came here to make an effort to reveal our light, to manifest all of our blessings. Like we go back to the game of tennis. If I played tennis with a little 3-year-old who can hardly hold the racket, of course I'm going to win. But do I feel victory? No, because I didn't have to make an effort. I didn't have to challenge myself, focus more, physically run in the right place, the right time, hit the, swing the racket in the right way, etc. There was no challenge, therefore, no true sense of victory. I won, but I don't feel victorious. So too, we came into this world, and that's why we implanted the AI program, to give us the free will to choose the tree of ups and downs, the physical illusionary world as the source of blessings, or to pause, as we call it. No, I want to draw the tree of life in and through me. The light is infinite. This is opportunity to share my light, remove more of my darkness, restore some of the original order of my 100% by transforming the disorder back into order. Peace, the word peace in the soul language of every human being, soul language called Hebrew, is the word shalom, which comes from the root of shlemut, meaning completeness. Like we said in the beginning, you take the 99% and the 1%, you put it together, you have 100. That's completeness. So our job is to bring the light from the tree of life to manifest into this world of the tree of knowledge, good and bad, thereby eliminating the aspect of bad. So it's the tree of life, pure light, manifesting in the realm called the tree of knowledge, good. Tree of knowledge, good. So we no longer see, believe, or act that there is, so to speak, bad, chaos. Our work is to do the things, the actions of light that will remove the darkness that influences the AI program in all of our heads to do any level of reactivity, major or minor. That's heaven on earth. Only the light will remove chaos. One of the biggest lies that we can say, or have heard people say, well, Chaim, I'm only human. Like, made a mistake, I'm only human. Lie. We're not only human. We have a physical human body, but we are truly the 99%. We are pure light beings. So how do we manifest that? Couple simple ideas. Simple so we can all apply it. Not easy because it goes, like we read from Karen, in an uncomfortable way. We have to listen to the voice of our soul even when we didn't want to hear that answer. One, effort. Make the effort to see the light in all people everywhere, all challenges. Look through their mud. Look through their negative actions. Look through whatever you're thinking is not good about them. See their soul is a piece of the infinite light of the Creator, as it is in you and me. See that, then you'll want to make the connection to that and not their negative behavior with your anger, jealousy, resentment, guilt, shame, fear. Like will attract like. Second, know there is an absolute, perfect, original order. Heaven on earth, the Garden of Eden. There is a perfection. One thing I'd like to bring out, think of a simple analogy. You get your credit card bill at the end of the month, you look through the charges, and there's a charge there, you look, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. I don't remember that. Okay, you pause for a minute, you kind of dig in, you go back to that date and you go, oh, that's right. I was in another city, I went here, I traveled this and this, and I did make that charge. But you had forgotten about it. So when the bill comes, what's the first thing you say? No, they made a mistake. Like when our buttons are being pushed by something someone says or does, how could they do that? So angry, so upset, so fearful, such judgment on them. No, if in the same way we could pause and really see all the details of our past, the quote charges we made of reactive behavior, we go, oh my goodness, this is just that action. I screamed at somebody 2 years ago, and now it's coming back to be fixed, to be paid back, pay my spiritual debt. Because how? They're screaming at me. Doesn't exempt them. They have their own circuit of cause and effect. I have mine. So for whatever reason, they were chosen by my soul to be the deliverer of the credit card bill. Scream at me, pause, I'm getting upset. No, must be somewhere I screamed at somebody. Let me shine the light. Shine the light. Forgiveness, tolerance, kindness, compassion, whatever it is. And then I'll be guided what to say or what to do. Because no Kabbalistic teaching ever says, yes, you just be the dish rag, just lay down, do anything everybody wants you to do. No. But the light is the only thing that can truly guide us to long-term peace, harmony, and fulfillment. So we have to always act, let our light shine outward. The bigger consciousness is, like with the analogy of the credit card bill. And whether you believe it or not, I'm sorry, but it is an absolute fact. There is reincarnation. So when you expand your consciousness to include reincarnation, at least it allows us to continue with greater certainty that everything is cause and effect. What we did 2 lifetimes ago may be coming to us today because we're ready, able, and capable to pay back that spiritual debt. But on the physical 5 sense level, you say, oh my God, how could it be? Joe Smith's such a nice person. How could this thing happen to them? Or sometimes you'll look the opposite. You say, oh, Joe Smith is a terrible person. How could this good thing happen to him? Well, you don't know what Joe Smith did 2 or 3 or 4 lifetimes ago. And it's just coming back now. So too, we have to understand anything that already comes to us has to be an opportunity to pay back with the light something that we did that covered up that form of light. Has to be. I can tell you, you can deny, you can ignore, you could say you don't believe. Doesn't change the laws of the universe. Don't believe in electricity, put your finger in the socket. The electricity is not going to say, oh, they don't believe in electricity, we won't shock them. No. Don't believe in electricity, put your finger in the socket, still get shocked. Step off the first floor balcony, don't believe in gravity, not going to float away. Gravity will still work. Reincarnation is an absolute fact. That's how we can come to understand what Satan, the opponent, the AI program makes people think is unfair. Good person, bad stuff happening. Bad person, good stuff happening. Could be something. Like Karen used to say, even bad people or bad actors somewhere along the line does something good. And maybe it's that one thing they did good in their entire past life that's showing up now as the bad person getting something good. Could be also the opposite. The good person who made one mistake in a past life, and that's the one thing that people are looking at. Oh, could such a bad thing happen to this good person? One thing, pay back the debt. We started with 100%. We are filled with 100%. Our job is to manifest 100%. So even at 99% revelation of our potential, there's still one piece of darkness hiding some aspect, that one more piece of light waiting to be manifest, so we will be at complete peace, shalom, shlemut, oneness, unity. So, concluding, every person on earth, no matter how they are acting right now, are a necessary piece of the spiritual body of that one soul. And if we want completeness, You have to put all the pieces together. It's in our hands, especially you and me, the students of the Kabbalah Center, who have this wisdom, have this technology, have this lineage, as it's called, from mouth to ear, one master Kabbalist to the next, who became the next master Kabbalist, a lineage that brings the pure light of Rabbi Shimon channeling the Zohar into the physical world in a way that every human being on earth can understand the universal system, that we can all live according to that system, being unique, having our own unique way of applying it, but still on the same operating system. Like we said, everybody is on the system of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and not on different counting systems. So we still have our own expressions, but based on that same one operating system. Thereby, we have the ways and means to draw, as I said, from outer space. What does outer space mean? From above, from the 99%. Space, if you will, or earthly space, is the ups and downs, the tree of knowledge, good and bad, the 5 senses. Yes, we have to draw from the 99%. We have to draw from beyond the space, if you will, of time, space, and motion, beyond the limitations of our 5 senses, draw from there the tree of life into this world. So we began in the Garden of Eden, we will end in the Garden of Eden. Life is about the choices we make along the way, from the beginning to the end, but the end is guaranteed. Everything is pushing us. All roads lead to peace on earth. It's only a question, do we go voluntarily or not? So how quickly is up to us. So what the center has offered me, Kabbalah Center, and you, is an opportunity to learn, everybody, the universal system of the soul, the technology of the soul, the ways and means that we can achieve it, the reason we came here, why we have those 2 voices in our head, understanding how to win, achieve the, quote, game of life, which is the journey to achieve peace on earth, unity, heart to heart, soul to soul, with every human being acting from their divine nature. Every person acting God-like. Love, peace, kindness, compassion, humility, generosity, tolerance. The center giving us the ways and means. Of course, the most powerful, I remind you every week, the Zohar, whether the entire Aramaic Zohar, called the Sacred Zohar, pocket Zohars, that you can hand out to your family and friends, put in your cars, put in the backpacks, put in the briefcase, purses, whatever. Or you can study from the entire set, as you see behind me here. The Aramaic English. Or we even have it now, Aramaic Spanish. We're almost complete with the Aramaic Portuguese. They're working on different languages. It's available. Make use of it. Come and learn. Remind yourself Kabbalah 1 over and over and over again, so that you're more of your true light nature is manifest more and more every day in the ways you operate, in the things you say, in the actions you do, in the perceptions of what yesterday had looked like darkness, challenges, disorder, randomness. You see and act more with the cause and effect, more taking control to shine your light out into the world. Because when there's no more darkness in the world, everyone will see the cause and effect in the moment and of their past actions. And when a person can look back in their own eyes and see the pain and suffering they went through was self-inflicted by negative behavior earlier in this life or from a past life, and that the good things that came to them are not because of other people, but because of their own actions of greater love, kindness, and compassion. So may it be that from this moment forward, you and I influence every human being on earth by shining light out to their heart and soul, that we speed up the process. That peace on earth, heaven on earth can be manifest, as the Zohar says, with mercy, which is the power of spreading the books of the Zohar. because it just shines the most powerful, brightest light. And the more we spread it around and the more we make use of it, the faster we remove the cosmic darkness that's bringing all the pain, suffering, and chaos and divisiveness and death into the world. And may, with our effort, you, me, and the rest of the students of the center, force the end of all pain, suffering, and death. God bless. Yes. As I shared today, and I've learned from my teachers over and over and over and over 35 years, gratitude and appreciation. So one, I just want to simply appreciate, and I put the link there, for those of you who support the center through Spiritual Sunday, the donations you give, the gifts you offer to bring peace to the world. And it is the world. The center is all-inclusive. It's about every human being on earth because we are one soul. It doesn't matter on the outside. Like right now, I'm here in Boca Raton. You are from all over the world. But we are one in unity right now, together in Spiritual Sunday. So the same, you just expand that out. Everybody's on a one soul. The point of the center is every human being, not just a group, religious group, economic group, social group, political group, country group. No, it's everybody. And so every donation that you give to the center is supporting the expansion of the revelation of light and causing thousands and maybe tens or hundreds of thousands of people every day to do more sharing, less reacting. So the link is there. Please, and just give whatever your heart says. Whatever it is, give $5, give $50, give $50,000, give $1 billion. I'd like that. Give them whatever, but give and give with your heart and give regularly. Because until there's peace on earth, there's always more light to be revealed. The Rav used to tell us in the days that we used to go knocking on doors to bring Kabbalah to the masses, before internet and all of that, even before cell phones. Wow. The Rav would say, it only takes one Zohar to bring peace to the world. And so if there's not peace in the world, we know there's at least one more. So in that same way, until there's peace on earth, we've seen improvement. We've got over 1 million Zohars in the last year and a half going out there. There's still not peace on earth. A lot more peace, a lot more unity, but until there's the final redemption, there's always more to go. And everything that you give brings you back at least 10 times the blessing. So let's do, this is one of the 72 names. Those of you who are brand new, Hebrew letters were not created by any human being. They are the manifestation of frequencies, if you will, of the infinite light of the Creator. And that's why, since our soul is filled with light, and our eyes are the windows to the soul, this combination of the Yud, Zayin, Lamed, from the 72 names, is our connection to heaven on earth. And so, just let the light that shines out, which is why we call it scanning when you're scanning from the Zohar or whatever, but now, just let the light shine through your eyes, begin awakening more and more of the light of the Creator inside you. And so just remember the names, Yud, Zayin, Lamed, or the shapes. Let them be engraved in your mind's eye, so that we're all awakening more of the frequency of a heaven on earth, peace among all people, completeness of only light ruling the cosmos and the behavior of every human being on earth. Yud, Zayin, Lamed. So I ask you to sit comfortably in your seat, feet flat on the floor, hands in your lap. Taking a few deep breaths, breathing in from the nose, Hold the breath for a moment and exhale through the mouth. Breathing in the light of the Creator through the breath, feeling your abdomen, exhaling through the mouth to let go of whatever tension, blockages that you may be feeling in the moment. Letting the light of the breath bring greater peace, serenity. A greater focus and concentration on the voice of your soul. Relaxing into the infinite light that we are all immersed in, that envelops us in a true eternal sense of peace, love, harmony, unity. Allowing yourself to breathe normally and envisioning Yud Zayin Lamed above your head, shining each of these particles of the light of the Creator, conduits to the endless world, shining with bright light. A light that is infinitely bright and yet doesn't overwhelm, doesn't blind us, but gives us a greater sense of comfort. The vibration of unconditional love. And allow the Yud Zayin Lamed to enter through the top of your head. Some call it the crown chakra. Let this light, heaven on earth, unconditional love, flow through every physical and spiritual cell of your being, enlightening with brighter light, transforming the illusion of darkness, taking away that thin veil that's been hiding the light, that you see, feel, acknowledge greater light, sensing the vibration of the pure light of the Creator inside you and all around you. Yud Zayin Lamed, heaven on earth. As this frequency of the light of the Creator, Yud Zayin Lamed, settles in all parts of your being, concentrate on the awakening of the voice of your soul in your head, allowing that voice to be clear, to be loud, guiding you, inspiring you, giving you guidance and clarity, how to shine the light and remove the chaos, disorder, and darkness in whatever challenges there are in your life. Together we focus on the light awakened in our heart and soul, and beaming together this infinite light of heaven on earth, Yud Zayin Lamed, beaming it out to the heart and soul of all our family and friends, awakening heaven on earth in them, the true fundamental truth of each of us and the world collectively. And this awakening of light, guiding them to be more and more proactive, sharing, greater love, kindness, and compassion to all. And then beaming through them, see it from their heart and soul, out to the heart and soul of every human being on earth through this one soul spiritual internet of which we are all a part. The one spiritual quantum body of humanity. See all the friction dissipating, all the divisiveness being removed by the closeness of heart to heart, soul to soul of all humanity, removing the space between us. Whatever aspects of negativity hiding in that darkness, as that darkness being removed by the light, that the true, pure and perfect light beings that the Creator created, the oneness being manifest now. Yud Zayin Lamed. Peace on earth. Heaven on earth forever. By the pure expressions of unconditional love, kindness, generosity, humility, compassion, forgiveness, and apology. All the light-like behaviors necessary to remove the veil of darkness and manifest heaven on earth, harmony, peace, and true lasting fulfillment. In this vibration, in this vision, this sense that you have now, commit yourself to know that there's infinite light. All solutions and perfection already exists. And therefore committing yourself to shine the light unconditionally out from your heart and soul, to bring greater peace and blessings into your life, and washing away the darkness, the spiritual blockages that cover the soul of all other people on earth. Letting that pure soul's light shine, manifest. And with this greater, stronger sense of certainty and peace, taking one more deep breath, anchoring it in your heart, soul, and mind, and slowly exhale and open your eyes. Thank you for joining us. God bless you all. May we be stronger, more powerful channels, beacons of light because of what we've learned and experienced today. That like attracts like, and millions more people will be joining this mission, this movement, this true consciousness to bring in our time peace on earth, eternal bliss. God bless.